Over 60 and your feet turn to ice at night while the rest of you feels warm? Okay. Before I explain a single thing, here's the one rule that makes this Cayenne trick actually work. A tiny pinch, about a 16th of a teaspoon, in warm liquid after dinner. Never on an empty stomach. That's the whole dose. But stay with me, because that pinch is the smallest part of this. The real trick is the timing, the movement that comes right after, and one warning sign that tells you to put the spice down and call your doctor instead. Miss that one sign, and no remedy on earth is going to help you. Let me say the thing most people feel at night but never quite say out loud. You get into bed, your chest is warm, your hands are fine, but your toes feel like they belong to a stranger. So you pile on thicker socks, you rub your feet together, you pull the blanket tighter. And underneath all of it, a quiet little question creeps in. Is this just age, or is something slowing down inside me? That question's fair. Your feet sit farther from your heart than anything else you've got. They lean on steady blood flow, healthy nerves, open vessels, stable blood sugar, and lower leg muscles that actually still move. So when your feet keep going cold, your body usually isn't begging for thicker socks. It's asking for better delivery. But before any spice goes anywhere near your cup, get this difference clear in your head, because it matters more than the whole trick. 2 cold feet after a long evening parked in a chair? That's one story. One foot suddenly colder than the other, pale, bluish, painful, or changing color? That's a completely different story. Same complaint. Totally different level of danger. So do a quick check first. Put both feet side by side and really look. Same color? Same temperature? Do your calves ache when you walk and then settle down when you rest? Any numbness, swelling, sores that won't heal, chest pain, sudden weakness? If that's you, you don't fix it with pepper. You get help. And look, that's not fear talking. That's just maintenance. A smart man checks the warning light before the engine dies, not after. Okay, if both feet are just mildly cold at night and none of those red flags are waving, the trick is simple. About an hour before bed, after you've eaten, pour a small cup of warm water, warm broth, or warm herbal tea. Warm, not boiling. And how warm is warm? Think bath water, not a hot drink. If you'd flinch to rest your lip on it, it's too hot. And too hot was never the point. Drop in that tiny pinch of cayenne, a 16th of a teaspoon, less if you're sensitive. Stir it, sip it slow, and never on an empty stomach. Then wait 2 minutes. That pause matters. You're not trying to shock your body, you're sending it a gentle little warming signal. And this is exactly where most people get it wrong. They think the cayenne is the trick. It isn't. The spice can stir up some warmth, sure, but if your legs have been still for hours, that warmth needs movement to go anywhere at all. So after 2 minutes, sit up straight, both feet flat on the floor. First, lift all 10 toes. Keep your heels down, hold for a second, release, 10 times. I know, it sounds too simple to matter. Don't dismiss it. Older feet spend years crammed in tight shoes, sitting still, walking less than they used to. The little muscles get lazy, the toes get stiff, and feet that stop moving tend to stop feeling alive. Second, lift one foot off the floor and roll the ankle. 10 slow circles one way, then 10 the other. Switch feet. Go slow. If you feel any sharp pain, stop. Think of your ankle like a traffic circle for the whole lower leg. When it seizes up, everything below the knee starts running sluggish. And now the step almost every Cayenne video skips right past. 30 calf pumps. Toes stay on the floor. Raise both heels as high as feels comfortable. Then lower them slow. Up, down, up, down. No bouncing. Feel the calves squeeze. Remember this one. Because your calf muscles are basically a second pump, pushing blood and fluid back up your legs toward the heart. That's exactly why sitting all evening leaves your feet cold, heavy, and slow to warm up. Then the socks. Clean, warm, and loose. Not tight. If your socks leave deep rings around your ankles, they're working against you. And here's a timing rule almost nobody tells you. Put your socks on before your feet get cold, not after. Warming up a foot that's already frozen is slow and frustrating. Keeping a warm foot warm? Easy. Then, if your balance is solid, walk slowly around the room for 2 minutes, near a wall or a chair. This isn't exercise. It's a warm-up, for your circulation, your comfort, and honestly, your confidence. Now pause for a second, because here's where this routine either helps you or teaches you something. Some folks feel a gentle warmth in the chest. Some feel their toes wake up right after the calf pumps. Some feel nothing the first night, then notice a shift a few evenings in. And some people shouldn't use Cayenne at all, because their stomach flat out says no. That's not failure, that's feedback. If the Cayenne brings on reflux, burning, diarrhea, nausea, sweating, dizziness, or a racing heart, stop. Simple rule: Cayenne should feel warm, not punishing. If your body fights it, the spice just isn't for you. No shame in that. And if you're on blood thinners, aspirin, clopidogrel, diabetes medication, blood pressure pills, strong anti-inflammatories, or you've got surgery coming up, don't turn Cayenne into a daily habit until you've asked your clinician. A little food-sized pinch isn't a concentrated supplement. But when you're on medication, you don't want surprises. Here's a mistake that turns a simple remedy into an injury. Do not rub raw Cayenne straight onto your feet. I know people do it online. It's risky, especially if you've got diabetes, neuropathy, thin skin, cracked heels, or just poor feeling down there. Kitchen pepper can irritate or burn the skin, and if your nerves aren't sensing things properly, the damage is done before you even feel it. You want warmth here, not a chemical burn. Now, the bigger mistake most men never even notice: the evening itself. Picture someone. He's 67. After dinner, he drops into his chair to watch a little television. Feels fine at first. 2 hours later, his feet are cold, his ankles are stiff, and he sighs and says, "My circulation must be shot." Maybe. Or maybe he just sat dead still for 2 hours with his knees bent, his calves fast asleep, and tight socks biting into his ankles. That's a whole different problem. It's got a different first move. Honestly, the trouble usually starts way before the evening. What you do at 3 in the afternoon decides how cold your feet are at 10 at night. Shoes laced too tight all day. The same chair for hours with your legs crossed. Knee-high socks with a tight band cutting a line right into your calf. Every one of those quietly squeezes the same vessels you're trying to keep open. So loosen the shoes, uncross the legs, get up once an hour, and your feet start the night in a much better spot. The first move isn't more Cayenne. It's movement, before your feet ever turn to ice. Every 30-45 minutes in the evening, get up if it's safe, walk to the kitchen and back, roll your ankles, wiggle your toes, do 10 calf pumps. Small signals, over and over. Your body rewards the repeating far more than the intensity. And here's one almost nobody warns you about. That warm nightcap, a glass of wine, or a little something before bed feels like it's heating you up. It really isn't. Alcohol flushes warm blood out to your skin, so the surface feels toasty, but you're actually losing heat, and an hour later, your feet can end up colder than before, right when you're trying to fall asleep. If cold feet wreck your nights, that warm Cayenne drink is the smarter swap. Same cozy feeling, opposite result. While we're on drinks, here's one more nobody ever connects to cold feet: not drinking enough during the day. A lot of men over 60 quietly cut back on water after lunch, so they're not up half the night running to the bathroom. Problem is, when you run low on fluid, your blood volume drops, it gets thicker and moves slower, and the last place it reaches is your feet. So sip steadily through the morning and afternoon, ease off in the evening, and you've fixed cold feet from the opposite direction. Now, remember that one warning sign I promised you at the very start? If you forget everything else in this video, hold on to this part. Both feet cold and slow after a still evening, that's a comfort and circulation habit, and tonight's routine is built for exactly that. But one foot turning colder, paler, or more painful than the other, a calf that cramps every single time you walk and quits the second you sit down, that's your body's warning light coming on. No pinch of pepper belongs anywhere near that. That one's a phone call to your doctor, not a kitchen fix. And let me be straight with you about why this matters so much, because it isn't really about your feet. It's about staying independent. Warm feet help you sleep. Good sleep gives you steady mornings. And steady mornings are what let you drive, run errands, work in the yard, pick up the grandkids, and still feel like yourself. Cold feet at night feel like a small thing, but the men who keep shrugging off the small stuff are usually the ones who get blindsided by the big stuff. Nobody loses their independence in a single day. They lose it in 100 small surrenders, The ones they figured weren't worth mentioning. A cold foot, a walk they skipped, a bad night's sleep they waved off. You're not chasing youth here. You're protecting the version of you that still does things your own way, on your own terms. Quick gut check before we keep going. Pause for 1 second and tell me down in the comments. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cold are your feet right now? 1 is ice, 10 is toasty. Just drop the number. I read these, and the pattern tells me way more than you'd think. Here's something for the nights it still happens, when you're already lying down and your feet just won't warm up. Don't lie there and suffer. And don't tuck your feet up under your legs either. That just pinches the flow right off. Instead, do 20 slow ankle pumps right there under the covers. Point the toes, pull them back, point, pull. It quietly restarts that calf pump without you ever leaving the bed. And there's a morning version too, worth about 30 seconds. Before your feet even hit the floor, while you're still lying there, do 10 toe lifts and 10 slow ankle circles right in the bed. You're waking the circulation up before you stand, so that first cold, stiff step of the day loses its bite. Same idea as the night routine. Half a minute. No Cayenne required. Can't handle Cayenne at all? Don't click away thinking the routine's useless, because it isn't. Just run the same exact sequence with plain warm water, broth, or herbal tea. The movement still works. The socks still work. The walk still works. The spice is only the spark for some people. The system is the engine. Now, if Cayenne's just not your friend, ginger is the gentler cousin. A thin slice of fresh ginger or a little ground ginger stirred into that same warm cup gives you a slow, mild warmth without the sharp bite. Most stomachs that reject cayenne get along with ginger just fine. Warm liquid, a warming spice, and the movement. That's the real formula. Which spice you pick is up to you. You can also skip the drink entirely and just put cayenne in your food. A tiny pinch in soup, beans, eggs, or a stew usually sits easier on the stomach than plain water does. It should taste warm, not painful. A remedy that makes you suffer is a remedy you'll quit. And the best health habits after 60 are the ones you don't dread doing. And no, if a little helps, more does not help faster. More just means more irritation. At this stage of life, the winning move isn't punishment, it's consistency. A tiny amount you can actually tolerate beats a big amount that torches your stomach and makes you quit after one night. And if you do go see a doctor, don't just say my feet are cold. Say it like this: I'm over 60, my feet feel cold mostly at night. It's both feet, or mainly one. I do, or I don't, get calf pain when I walk. I do, or I don't, see color changes. I do, or I don't, have numbness. One tight sentence like that beats a long, vague story every time. And if you've got diabetes, artery disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or a history of smoking, say that part too. Okay, your 3-night test then. Night 1, before you do anything, rate your feet from 1 to 10 and write the number down. Then run the routine. The warm drink, the 2-minute wait, the toe lifts, the ankle circles, the 30 calf pumps, the loose socks, the slow little walk. Then rate your feet again. Night 2, do it again, and notice if the warmth shows up faster. Night 3, do it once more, and ask yourself the real question. Are my feet actually responding, or are they staying cold no matter what I do? If they respond, you've found yourself a comfort routine worth keeping a few nights a week, as long as your stomach's on board and your doctor has no concerns. If they don't respond, or things are actually getting worse, that's not your cue to pile on more cayenne. That's your cue to get it looked at properly. Picture the whole thing like starting an old truck on a cold morning. You don't slam the gas, you warm it up first. The warm drink is the key turning over. The toe lifts are the dashboard lights flickering on. The ankle circles are the oil starting to move. The calf pumps are the engine catching. The socks hold the heat in. And that short walk tells the whole machine, all right, we're moving now. You'll remember that picture tonight. Not a complicated chart, not a supplement list, just a warm-up your body already understands. And a picture like that? You don't forget it. Next time your feet go cold, the truck just starts up in your head, and your hands already know what to do. And this is where too many men like this get stuck. They wait until the problem gets big enough to scare them because they don't want to look weak. But getting checked isn't weakness, it's maintenance. You check your car, you check your roof, You check your bank account. Your legs have carried you for 60-some years. They've earned that same respect. Before you lie down, take 5 slow breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Stress tightens the body. Cold tightens the body. That breathing tells your system, we're safe. One last warning though. If your cold feet come from nerve trouble, your nerves won't register heat the way they should. So go easy on heating pads, very hot water, any strong heat on your feet, unless your clinicians told you it's fine. Burns happen faster than people expect when the feeling's dulled. Warm is good. Hot is never required. And now, the whole plan, start to finish. After dinner, a tiny pinch of cayenne in warm liquid, only if your stomach's okay with it. Wait 2 minutes. 10 toe lifts. Ankle circles, both ways, 30 calf pumps. Loose warm socks, on before the cold sets in. A slow 2-minute walk, if your balance allows it. Then track it for 3 nights. Keep what helps, drop what irritates, and never, ever ignore a red flag. And if cold feet haunt your nights, do me a favor. Comment the word feet down below and tell me, are you over 50, over 60, or over 70? And is it both feet or mainly the one? Trust me, that one detail matters. And if you want to understand cayenne way beyond cold feet, go watch the one called 20 Shocking Uses of Cayenne Pepper. I'll walk you through which uses are actually worth your time, and which ones you want to be careful with before you ever try them.